Let's dive into one of the most poignant moments in the New Testament, Jesus' conversation with Peter, where he asks him if he loves him 3 times. This exchange takes place after the Last Supper, when Jesus predicts that one of his 12 apostles will betray him. John 13:24. The atmosphere is tense as Jesus goes on to explain that he must leave the world and return to his Father, but that he wants Peter and the other disciples to remain in Jerusalem until they are filled with power from on high. Luke 24:49. This power will enable them to be witnesses for him throughout the earth. With this context in mind, Jesus turns his attention to Peter, who has been acting as one of his closest confidants. He asks him 3 times if he loves him with a deep and abiding affection, or agape love. John 21:15-17. This question is more than just a curiosity. It's an opportunity for Jesus to encourage Peter and the other disciples to deepen their commitment to following him, even in the face of adversity. Biblical context and key passages, the theme of "do not be afraid," is woven throughout the Scriptures, often appearing at pivotal moments when faith is being tested. In Deuteronomy 31:6, Moses reminds the Israelites that they are not alone, saying, "Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." This reassurance echoes in Jesus' words to Peter later on. In Isaiah 41:10, we find a similar message of hope. "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be frightened, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." These verses capture the essence of Jesus' instruction to Peter, that he should not let his circumstances dictate his faith. Jesus himself models this fearlessness when he walks on water, calming the stormy sea, Matthew 14:22-33. His actions demonstrate that even in turbulent times, we can choose to trust in God's presence and power. This is precisely what Jesus is asking Peter to do, to trust him with an unwavering agape love. Looking at the context of Jesus' question, it becomes clear why he asks Peter if he loves him 3 times. It's a way of reiterating the importance of this kind of love in the face of adversity. The question isn't just about Peter's feelings, it's about his willingness to stand firm in his commitment to following Jesus. This kind of love is not just an emotion, but a choice we make every day to trust and obey God's commands. John 14:13. Asking Peter if he loves him 3 times, Jesus is emphasizing the gravity of this decision, that it requires a deep-seated commitment to following him. Meaning and key themes in this poignant moment, Jesus' question Peter, "Do you love me?" goes beyond a casual inquiry. It's an invitation for Peter to reflect on the depth of his commitment to following Jesus. This kind of love is not just about emotions. It's a choice we make every day to trust and obey God's commands. The fact that Jesus asks this question 3 times underscores its significance. Each time, he's asking Peter if he's willing to stand firm in the face of adversity, just as Jesus will soon stand firm on the cross for our salvation. John 21:15-17. Jesus is not looking for a surface-level response. He wants Peter to demonstrate an agape love that's rooted in his heart. This kind of love chooses to trust God even when circumstances seem uncertain. The New Testament emphasizes the importance of this kind of love. In 1 Corinthians 13:4-7, we're reminded that true love is patient, kind, and not self-seeking. It's a love that's willing to sacrifice for others, just as Jesus sacrificed himself for us. John 15:13. And Peter responds with his 3 yeses. He's not just affirming his emotions. He's committing himself to follow Jesus with unwavering devotion. Practical application today. So, what does this conversation mean for us today? How can we apply the principles of Jesus' question to our own lives? Firstly, it encourages us to examine our hearts. Are we willing to make a commitment to follow Jesus with an agape love that's not based on emotions, but on a deep-seated trust in him? Secondly, it reminds us that this kind of love requires sacrifice. Just as Peter had to put aside his own interests and desires to follow Jesus, we too must be willing to let go of our own plans and ambitions for the sake of his kingdom. Matthew 16:24. Lastly, it inspires us to trust God in uncertain times. When faced with challenges or difficulties, we can choose to stand firm in our faith, just like Peter did. This kind of love is not something we can manufacture on our own. It's a gift from God that we receive when we surrender ourselves to him. John 3:16. Conclusion. The conversation between Jesus and Peter serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of agape love in following Christ. By asking Peter if he loves him 3 times, Jesus is emphasizing the gravity of this decision, that it requires a deep-seated commitment to following him. This kind of love is not just an emotion, but a choice we make every day to trust and obey God's commands. John 14:15. It's a love that chooses to stand firm in faith, even when circumstances seem uncertain. When Peter responds with his 3 yeses, he's committing himself to follow Jesus with unwavering devotion. So, what does this conversation mean for us today? We're encouraged to examine our hearts and make a commitment to follow Jesus with an agape love that's not based on emotions, but on a deep-seated trust in him. It reminds us that this kind of love requires sacrifice and inspires us to trust God in uncertain times. As we reflect on Peter's response, may we too be willing to say yes to Jesus with an unwavering commitment to follow him, just as he did.